Again, the attachment pain is what you need to follow, expand, and deepen. Okay. And those are the emotions that you should already have touched and named in stage one, most of them, right? If you've done your stage one work like well enough, like those emotions would have showed up, like fear of not being lovable. I mean, I talked to that female client probably by session 2, 3, like we have named it already, but it's not felt in a deep way. Even if it was felt, it was very dysregulated, right? But in stage 2, they would have felt that emotion with more like liveliness to it. They would have felt it a lot more. And they would have, by stage 1, they would already have make sense of it, what's happening with them. But now they can encounter that with more balance. Okay. In step 5, the way we want to see is that there'll be more awareness of that particular emotion, like say the fear of not being lovable, more awareness, more clarity. By clarity, we meant how is that connected to the cycle? What's happening to them? Can they identify it even at home without my help? So my clients can report back, yeah, I have this exchange with my dad. And actually, she called the police on dad. And because she said, in that moment, I got so triggered, right? That not feeling lovable. And she will be whipping again, like talks about how come dad doesn't love me in that way. So more clarity, more depth, able to engage with that emotion more now, right? Not running away from it. And there's more ownership. She was able to say, yeah, I got triggered. Like I got triggered and I started to feel like I wasn't enough. I wasn't lovable. So I reacted, right? Those are statements about ownership, right? Like I did that. I feel that, right? And again, it was said not just a logical way of saying it, but actually emotionally owning it. So the 3Ds, right? For those of you who are familiar with EFT work, you will see these 3 words before, right? Deepen, distill, and disclose. Want to deepen the emotion, like fear not being lovable, distilling it with more clarity to the exact moment where that fear shows up the loudest. And then disclosing it, able to share that, right? If this was couples work, sharing that with your partner. But in individual work, you pick somebody in the others, which earlier we talked about. There are multiple others that you can talk to. I'll show you one example of mine, right, who I chose. But really, there's that list on the couch that you can choose anybody you want to talk to. Depends on what you're working on. So this is where I want to tie back to the tango, right? So the deepen, distill, and then disclose is really your tango 2 and 3. Tango 2 is about assembling the emotion, right? Your macro, right? Tango 1 is reflecting a process, something you want to talk about. Tango 2 is where you want to assemble the emotion. We do the same thing in stage 1, we assemble the emotion, but in stage 2, we want to deepen that emotion. We want to distill it even more. We want to really pick at that one moment in time for him or her of day, what was happening. And we want to use that as entry point to drop down, to go deeper.